Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another video. My name is Caleb Drury, and this is Car Juice. Here is the squeeze on the 2024 Volkswagen Golf R. So we just took this car in on trade the other day, and I was very excited about it. I have actually been trying to find one that I could test drive at a Volkswagen dealership for quite some time. This is the 8th gen Volkswagen Golf, which came out in 2022. So this is 24 model, so it's one of the later representations of this car. So you've got a decent sized trunk, and the Golf R has a special place for me in my my car enjoyment journey. So whenever I was like 16, 17, my best friend got me into cars, and he absolutely adored hot hatches. I always made fun of him for it, but I don't know why I did. This is just such a great car. You get all-wheel drive, 315 horsepower, and a 3.9 second 0 to 60 for $47,000. This attractive styling, gorgeous rear wing, blue brake calipers with 19-inch wrapped tires. It just looks really cool. You also get these spicy quad exhaust tips on the back end of the car, and you have a 4-speed, 2-liter turbocharged engine mated to a 7-speed. Not a 4-speed, a 4-cylinder engine mated to a 7-speed DSG transmission. So that is kind of what you're looking at underneath the hood, and I just think this car is really cool. If you are wanting something that is perfectly capable and isn't going to absolutely break the bank, has great technology, and actually just looks and handles like a sports car without being too crazy, this is a great option. You've got rear heated seats in the back, and I'm going to show you guys kind of what it looks like whenever I sit in the back seat of the car. 2 USB Type-C ports here in the back of the vehicle, and being 5'8", I have a decent amount of space. You've got one little pocket down here, 2 pockets up here. So you know if you're an adult and you're a dad or something like that with kids, they have plenty of spaces to cram stuff where you will never be able to get it out. You also have a large sunroof and very cool touch lighting inside of the car that just works by touching it. And then these seats are really cool. The whole entire car just really kind of leans into that enthusiast mindset with just matching colors. You've got these blue seats with like a semi-carbon fiber look, Golf R badge sitting there proudly on the back, and there's even like a blue twinge to the perforation on the leather. This car handles very well, and you've also got a 10-inch touchscreen. This shifter, while it's small, is definitely not compensating for anything, and it's got a nice sounding little exhaust. Let me get you guys a couple of revs. I do want to mention paddle shifters. They're quite nice for this type of car. They're really cool. Yeah, please hold for a brief revving. Little blow-off sound with a nice little catback exhaust. This thing would sound really cool. This has only 1,700 miles, and you know, at 47 grand, this is competing more or less against the IS 350 at this point. So like a true luxury car versus, you know, a Volkswagen that's got more horsepower, about 10 more horsepower than the IS 350. More convenience with the hot hatch style design, and just all of the cool features that you'd really want anyways. Heated and ventilated seats on both the driver and passenger side. A neat but not overly complicated touchscreen and infotainment display. Very high resolution, looks absolutely great, and a myriad of different vehicle settings that you can adjust as well. The all-wheel drive system on the Golf is pretty dang good. You know, it's got good handling, good performance, and it feels like the car really knows what it wants to do. Let's see. So you can go around. It's got this cool little 3D rendering of the vehicle. I don't know if this uses like Unity or anything like that, like a lot of Unreal Engine, like a lot of manufacturers are starting to go to nowadays. But, you know, it works really well. It's very responsive, and then it does have, you know, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which is nice. And then you've got this really cool looking infographic for all of your sound profile. Excuse me, that was really gross. Your sound profile kind of things, and it can show you where the different sound is coming from. So if you wanted to focus it more on the driver's seat, you can do such. It's just kind of cool. You can play around with things, and just isolate different seats, or, you know, have it go to all of them. I don't know, just really cool little nifty things. Let's take this thing on a quick little spin. This is just a short review. I don't have any camera person today, because I know that this car is pretty much going to sell within probably a couple days of us getting it. Before we take this out, I do want to mention the controls for the sunroof are really cool. They use a like a haptic feedback button, and then you've got like a very thin curtain to cover up the sunroof, which makes the cabin feel a little bit more open and airy. Whenever you have that being like a fixed panel, it's not quite as like, it makes the cabin feel a little bit smaller and darker. All right, we're gonna go right. Harman Kardon audio system on the inside of the car, so it does sound really good. And then if you look over on the right-hand side of the screen, you can actually see which wheels are getting the most power to it as well. So whenever you're leaning into a corner, this has active torque vectoring, like most all-wheel drive sports cars nowadays. And it can send more power to one wheel than the other. If you notice, it just cut power to the back right. And whenever you get onto the throttle, you get a nice little rack-a-cack from the exhaust. I don't know if that's piped in audio noise. I suspect some of it is, but pretty cool. You've got your R mode here to change your drive mode. We're in race mode right now, which adds a cool little tachometer to the top of the screen, and also ups the baseline boost from 4 PSI to 7. And you get a little bit more sound from the exhaust too. It shifts really fast too. That is impressive. Got a guy doing a quick U-turn in front of us, but it's really, this is really neat. I want to see how this does on a quick little curvy road here. Brakes are really good. And this has been one of the cars I've really been wanting to drive. Transmission for a 7-speed is really smooth, and this does get around 26 miles or so combined. I think that it's like 24 in the city and then 28 on the highway. If that was an 8-speed, I bet you it'd be a little bit higher, but honestly, these are more along the lines of sports cars. A little bit of oversteer going into that corner. The way that this thing just applies the power is really, really cool, actually. And the power band is very linear. Like the boost, just like, it's got power in the low end and the high end, but it does that cool thing that turbocharged cars do whenever you start to get on them a little bit more, where they like pick up and do the turbo lag kind of thing without it being slow in the low end too. You do have adaptive cruise control with lane keep assist, heated steering wheel, which on this freaking chilly 40-degree day feels quite nice. I've wanted one of these for a while, but now I really, really want one of these. I don't know, fit and finish of everything fits really nice. It doesn't like creak or crack whenever you press on any panels. A little bit of creaky crack on the dashboard there when you press on it, and you can quickly turn off your radio just by pressing that button. That'll mute it and unmute it. One thing that I would like to see, the controls for the radio are a little bit weird. I prefer kind of just having a volume knob, but the slider is interesting. You know, whenever you're sliding on them, you gotta be able to handle yourself, you know? All right, let's do a quick little windows down pull. Slow down. Too shabby. 3.9 seconds 0 to 60. I would believe it. And you know, the nice thing is like, you know, Volkswagens, they typically are just known to not have the best electronics. Wow, this thing just corners really well with that all-wheel drive system, and it's so cool. You can watch the active torque vectoring too. It's just kind of nifty. Uh-oh. Hey, you be quiet, lady. But the nice thing is with modern cars is like, every car is pretty darn good now, so you can just buy whatever brand you think is the coolest and kind of just roll it, and for the most part, it's going to be fine. I think whenever I switch to a different brand, I might end up getting myself a little Volkswagen Golf R before you can't get, oh, when you say Golf R, the car just answers. That's cool. I didn't know that. But I think I could see myself getting one of these whenever the time comes. Yeah, so this car, I mean, for the money, is really freaking cool. Let me know what you guys think about the video in the comment section below. If you did like it, please consider subscribing. And if you liked this car, check out some of my other videos. I will link to a video that I did on the M240, which is kind of in this same price range, about $10,000 more, less practical, but two-door sports car versus a four-door hot hatch. Maybe kind of, if you're in your kind of searching process, you might want to consider one of those instead. And if you guys are in the market for one of those and you're located in the Cincinnati area, hit me up, BMW Cincinnati North. My name's Caleb Drury. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Deuces.